I'm Tracy Meyer, Chair of the Marketing Department in the Cameron School of Business. With me, I have two professors also from Cameron. We have Dr. Brian Kinard, who's also in the Marketing Department, and Dr. Stephen Hill from Operations Management. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy.
I have some questions for you about the session that you'll be leading, and it has to do with the topic of analytics. Can you please explain what is analytics?
Sure, Tracy. Regardless of what buzzword you use in your business, whether it's business analytics, data analytics, big data analytics, it really refers to the same thing. And that's taking the vast amounts of data that businesses now have gathered from either their customers or maybe it's even from day-to-day business operations and structuring and organizing that data so that we can transform it into information that can be used to make better business decisions.
Dr. Hill, can you expand upon that, please? I mean, how are people using this data, these analytic tools?
Sure. Well, if you take analytics and you break it down really into its three components, the first component is what we call descriptive analytics. And so that's where we would take data that we have or that we've started to collect or that maybe that we would like to collect. And we start to describe and to visualize it. So if you've got a company, for example, they've got all this historic data in a spreadsheet, but they've never done something perhaps as simple as graphing that data and looking for trends. And so we can explore trends in the data. Then we can do things like predictive analytics. And this is typically where the media pays a lot of attention to analytics. It's things like Target or Walmart or other companies like that, trying to identify, what characteristics of customers make them want to buy certain things. So for example, in the past, we've done a lot of forecasting. We've said, well, we sold this much this month, so we're going to sell this much next month. Well, okay. Well, we can add value to that. We can try to predict and say, well, Brian really likes ice cream, and we know that because we've looked at his sales history. We've looked at the things that he's purchased, and we can say there's a very high probability that Brian's going to buy ice cream next month. Whereas me, maybe it's a lower probability, and so they'll send me a coupon. They'll target me with specific advertising for that specific purpose. And then the last type of analytics is what we call prescriptive analytics. And that's really where we take what we've done before in the descriptive phase and in the predictive phase, and it's where we really make decisions. So it's talking about the advertising budget. We've got $1 million for advertising. How are we going to allocate that budget most efficiently based upon what we learned from the predictive phase and from the descriptive phase?
Can you tell me, is there a skill set that someone would need to have before joining this particular class, this program?
I don't think so. A lot of the academic programs out there today are looking for people with high quantitative backgrounds. They come from degree programs like statistics or math or hard sciences. This program is an introductory program really geared towards working professionals that maybe have limited experience with quantitative analysis.
Definitely would like to see some at least basic exposure to spreadsheets. We will do on the first night of the class, as Brian will go into in a minute, it's a 5-night series. On the first night, we'll bring everyone up to speed on Excel. Excel is such a ubiquitous tool that's out there, whether it's a one-person firm or a multinational, hundreds of thousands of employees. Everybody's using Excel. So we'll bring everybody up to speed on the first night, make sure everybody's at the same level. So having some basic familiarity with Excel would be useful. Dealing with data on a daily basis, would just add extra experience to enable you to be able to be even more successful in the program.
Is there any particular group or person you would think of who would be particularly interested in attending this program?
Well, I think really, and what we're trying to do with the program is really looking at a broad scope of businesses, whether it's a small business, whether it's a large business. And really our target here is more of the small to medium-sized business. It's the business that has data, because data is easy to come by these days. That's what's different about analytics today. A lot of the techniques and things that we teach and we talk about aren't new. It's just that the data is there, and the small business, the medium-sized business has access to really unprecedented amounts of data. And so when we look at those kinds of businesses, those are the ones that can benefit the most because they can take those first initial steps to using analytics to add value.
I would like to add, just to talk about the program itself. It is a 2-1-2 structure. So it's 2 nights 1 week, 1 night the second week, and then 2 nights the third week. And each night we talk about a different analytic topic with a different professor that specializes in that area. So it's very flexible, it's very convenient. approach to providing information related to analytics.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.